What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, you guys know that every week we like to take a look at what the the whales, at exactly what they're doing, what they're buying, and what it can mean for us. And we're going to do exactly the same to start off this week, so buckle up your seatbelts and let's get ready, baby. Let's get straight into the video. So, looking at the Digital Asset Fund Flows Weekly Report from our friends over at CoinShares, what we can see is a representation of inflows and outflows to start with. And what we can see here is each one of these candles represents a week. And last week, we saw a $441 million inflow week, nearly $500 million worth of inflows from the whales, aka the lizard people. Now, we spoke about this about a week ago, about the fact that we did start to see momentum shifting a little bit. Obviously, we saw this dive off here, and then it started to pick up a little bit. Like, we started to see it slow down a little. Then last week, we actually saw positive inflows for Bitcoin and Solana and multi-asset and many other things. But of course, the Ethereum was seeing a bit of a sell-off. And now this week, we're just striking right back into the realm and layer of positivity, which is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. I like to see it. Now, go and look to see just kind of how this is broken down. What we can see is that Grayscale did have another negative week as per usual, but interestingly enough, we actually saw them with less than $100 million worth of outflows. Now, typically we do see them anywhere from 100 to 200 million in outflows on a weekly basis. So the fact that we are seeing this thing kind of pick up a little bit, and the fact that they're not necessarily selling as much, definitely could be a telltale sign that, you know, maybe things are starting to shift for the better over there at Grayscale. Okay, month to date, year to date, obviously still pretty ugly, but on the weeklies is definitely interesting. Now, iShares still hasn't caught a lot of the momentum that it had before. Only $14 million worth of inflows last week, but we did see a ton of the weight carried by Fidelity with $194 million worth of inflows. So absolutely carrying the ships there. And of course, we saw a couple others contributing, right? 21 shares at 14, ARC 21 at 26, Bitwise at 65, Purpose Investments at 7, and then other at 212. And I think other stands out to me the most right now because this is one of the highest ratio weeks that other, which just includes some smaller ETFs that we've seen. And that just goes to show me that we are actually starting to see the diversification of the ETF across multiple different portfolio managers, investment funds, venture capitalists, etc. And that tells me that we're actually starting to see the ETF effect take place, right? That type of diversity is important because, again, we don't want centralized control to some degree. You know, we don't want too many of the same people holding all of the Bitcoin. That's just not ideal, right? And so, yeah, that was definitely interesting. Now, dividing this up by asset, of course, what we can see is that clean sweep across the board, all positive, no negatives. The only one was Binance, BNB, sat flat, nothing there. But other than that, of course, we saw positivity across the rest of these different assets. Bitcoin at nearly $400 million worth of inflows, Ethereum at 10.2, multi-asset at 12.8, Solana, baby, coming in at 16.3 million, absolutely smashing multi-asset and Ethereum by $6 to $4 million. Absolutely insane. We see, of course, Litecoin up 0.9, sure, Bitcoin up 0.5, which is interesting considering the fact that the market was falling. But I mean, whatever. XRP at 0.4, Cardano at 0.1, Polkadot at 0.2. So not too much going on there. But I definitely think it stands out to me the fact that we are seeing the lizard people accumulating. The whales accumulating here on Solana at 16.3 million, which is, again, more than Ethereum, more than multi-asset. And I definitely think it has to do with the idea that we could possibly be seeing some, you know, more validated rumors and whispers going around about Solana ETFs and things like that. Obviously, we saw the filings by ARC21 and some of those, iShares. We saw some of their filings and stuff. And so it definitely seems as if those rumors are becoming more and more validated. And I think that could contribute to the whales wanting to start to pick it up a little early. Buy the rumor, sell the news, of course. So that definitely could play a part. But also, just in general, they have been buying Solana more than they've been buying any other altcoin the entire year. And that's been quite prevalent. That's been quite obvious across the majority of this entire year. And so because of that, a very healthy week last week, and definitely a lot of movement there. But the fact that we're not really seeing the market itself doing much, I mean, if we look at total one, it still is a rather red week. We are still rather low, but the fact that the whales are accumulating hundreds of millions of dollars of crypto right here definitely tells me that our thesis that this is just us setting a lower low, the fact that we are on a mid to micro term, a higher low on a macro turn, I think that we are still going to look to try to find some support and eventually continue upwards throughout some given point this year. I think this year we will see a continuation upwards, but it's just a matter of time, and there are so many catalysts in between here and there. And so with that in mind, it does validate again my thesis that I think this is a good buying opportunity. This is the levels in which I'm accumulating at. I have been picking up more and more crypto the lower we've gotten, and I will continue to do that as, of course, this does play out and the whales do continue to accumulate themselves. So overall, just wanted to give you an update. That was volume 190. I think we've done this thing like 17 or 18 times now, at least, 4 or 5 months. So of course, I know you guys like to start off the week, get an idea what the lizard people are doing and how they're moving, because historically speaking, they are the ones that perform the best. And so watching them, somewhat mirroring them, is a good idea. And so overall, guys, of course, I hope you guys do enjoy these vids. I have a couple more dropping today. I think I have one on Solana, maybe one on Jasmine. I have a pre-sale, and yeah, I think a couple more maybe. So I'll, of course, just let you guys know whenever's next. Turn on those notifications when you do subscribe so that you never miss another one. And I can't wait to see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.